apothecary and herbs influence your body, not just the fabric of space and time. Hello, everybody! Good morning, afternoon, and evening! Dee. Hi, Ranger! Hi, Zephyr! Hi, Zon! How's everybody doing? Ah, Misty jump scare! Don't worry, we already dealt with her last time. We're about to leave the gym. It was just fighting Misty was the very last thing we did. How's everyone doing? Happy Tuesday! Oh my goodness. I apologize in advance, I've got food with me. I had a nap before stream because I literally slept 2 hours, 3 hours last night. It was very, very bad. My doctor's appointment to finally get my med issue sorted out is gonna be on Thursday morning. So I just gotta hang in there just a little bit longer. Sleepy Diana, yeah. Abba Creamy, hello, hello. How do you do? And hope you're well. Thank you. I hope you're well also. Welcome in. Perfect timing. We are just getting rolling. Oops, no. Did we just literally save? I guess. Whatever. Who cares? When you just put the game. When you just put the game to sleep instead of, you know, actually, like, turning off the system, it's like, did I actually save? I don't know. But yeah, it's a big oof. Through some miracle, probably. Did you already beat Misty? I did indeed. Oh, where do you... Right, this one. Ta-da! I mean, we started with, Ivysaur. Pretty... not too bad. Misty was giving us a hard time with our Starmie, but we managed to best it by... we used Leech Seed. And we just kept rotating out different Pokemon and just let the Leech Seed do its job. Because she restored back to full health because she's a dirty cheater. She thinks she's the protagonist. She thinks she's allowed to heal. Joke's on her, she's not. Because yeah, I mean... unfortunately, other than getting a Bellsprout, there aren't many options for us to get water, to get an advantage over water at this point in the game. We need a random nice luck one day. Oh god, no. I would crash and burn so bad. Okay, if we did it like a subathon or something like that, maybe just randomizer? Randomizer, yeah. Randomizer, I think, would be fun. If we did it like a subathon kind of thing. And you could add, and maybe we could add rules based on the monetary donations. Food for thought. Like, oh, for the next 5 minutes, you can only use, like, status ailments or something like that. Or for the next 5 minutes, you can only use tackle. Was a Pokemon game that had silly crowd control support? There probably is. I'll make a little note for myself so I can remember to look that up because that would be fun. Can't forget to say bye. No worries. Bye, Dee Dee. Thank you. I'm glad you could stop by. Take it easy. Alright. Yeah, I'm sure there is something. Because I know a whole bunch of different stuff popped up in the wake of Twitch Plays Pokemon. So I'm sure someone tried to figure out an easy-ish way to do that kind of stuff without having to do like all of the coding. Randomizers are at least super easy to set up. Yeah, I figured. Like, I've never done it myself, but seeing people do it has always been great. Alright. Let's sort these guys out a little bit. That's a sick name. The potions? Yeah, we got a whole bunch of them. Technically, you can redeem more than one per day. I gave that as an option for people because some people are like, they get the joke potions and they're like, oh. And I'm like, that's okay. You can do it again. There you go, instant popularity. But yeah, liquid smoke bomb. It's what it says on the tin. The bottle is... The contents are liquid, but when they get exposed to air, they turn into smoke. So, you know, don't open the bottle willy-nilly, because you're gonna have a problem. Does it have a limit? No, it does not. But fortunately, no one has taken advantage of it and just spammed away. We only have 13 variants, I believe. I would have to double check. But I just thought it was more fun to do it that way than just have it be a bare bones restriction that, like, it's like, oh yeah, you have to come every day, and hopefully you don't get the same one every day. Like, sometimes people, because there's two we have that are wakey wakey, and then there's like nighty night kind of thing, and some people will get those and go, I just woke up, I don't want to go back to bed. It's like, give me something else. Must be trying to dig their way into no good. Ha ha ha. Very, very clever. Also, rip these poor people. Those miserable rockets. Look what they've done to my house. They stole the TM for teaching Pokemon how to dig holes. Said they used it to dig a hole in your... Oh, rip. The apothecary is not responsible for side effects of multiple overlapping potions. So true. Remember, kids, just because it's natural ingredients doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be healthy for you. They can have interactions. Hey, stay out! It's not your yard! It's not your yard either! I'm an innocent bystander! Yeah, how did you get back here then? Did you climb the fence? Nice try, buddy! Ah, matchup. Matchup, matchup. Oh, come on. That was so close. if you hear a little bit of clinking, I made, like a hot chocolate. I have a spoon in the mug, so I apologize if it, like, clinks when I take a sip. I'm trying to, like, turn away from the mic a little bit when I do. Drowsy! Oh my god. What's y'all's opinion on Drowsy? After that one, there's like some episodes of the Pokemon anime that made some Pokemon really freaking scary. And then you ran into them in the game and it's like, oh god, it's you. Like, look at this guy! He just smells like trouble, you know? I don't know if the Team Rocket uniform screams innocent bystander, right? Yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm just an innocent bystander. What? My uniform? You see, I don't have a home of my own, and, you know, these clothes were just on the ground, so, you know, really hard to get new clothes when you don't have a house or a job or anything, so I just kind of helped myself, you know? You know? It was in the clearance bin, I assure you! I assure you! I just really like black, okay? I will turn the TM I stole. Bro robbed this house that was just chilling in their backyard. What are the police doing? You can see this guy from the road. Depending how tall that fence is. Better get moving, bye! Well, alright then. A new route full of possibilities. This is when the game starts getting really visually interesting. Because you start getting access to all the different cities. Right, these are, did they make this a daycare center in this game? I can't remember. Daycare centers weren't around in the original Red and Blue, so I can't remember if they changed this. Yes, okay, it is a daycare services. Oh. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe they were in Red and Blue. I just never used them. I mean, Pokemon breeding sure wasn't a thing in Gen 1. So their use would have purely been, I'm too lazy to level this up myself. Can you do it for me? This daycare only takes one Pokemon at a time. Ah, gotcha. That makes sense then. Yeah, because I was gonna say, if there is a daycare here, it is literally just leveling up your Pokemon. It's not for breeding. This may be mind-blowing to y'all, but when baby Pokemon and getting eggs were a thing in Gen 2, oh, our minds exploded. Because, I mean, we got Togepi in the Pokemon anime before we got the game here. So it was like, internet was very rudimentary, if not existent in like, you know, 2000-ish. So it's like, what the fuck? There's Togepi. Who the heck is Togepi? How do you get a Togepi? And then they give you the egg in Gen 2. It's like, oh, finally, Togepi! That is, I can't remember if Togepi is Iduna's absolute favorite Pokemon. For those who are new, Iduna is my bestie, occasional collab partner. But I know she does in fact love Togepi. She has many Togepi plushies. That's why I'm like, I'm not 100% sure if that's her absolute fave, but it's pretty up there. Alright, yeah. I mean, we can't go through here, but it was always fun. I'm on guard duty. Gee, I'm thirsty, though. Oh, wait. The world's closed. Why? I love how you just buy this guy. I guess spoilers, cover your ears. You buy this guy water, and he's like, gee, thanks! This is great! I'll share this water bottle with all the other guards. And we can all have my backlash, like, was it? No, backwash, you know? When you borrow a bottle of water from someone and you end up getting, like, food deposit in it. The eggs in Gen 2 had unusually high shiny chances for the series for some reason. The old egg in Crystal had a 14% chance. 14?! Damn. I'm not even a shiny hunter, and I can tell that's pretty good. Hi, do you have a Nidoran female? Want to trade it for my Nidoran male? Sorry. Sorry, kiddo. Da-da-da. And now we just take this really long path between cities. Interesting concept, because I mean, IRL, there are like underground pathways you can take, like concourses and stuff to get around cities. Toronto, which is like one of the biggest cities in Canada, and I used to live there, they have what's called the Path, which is basically that, like most of the buildings in the downtown in Toronto are connected via their basements, and like all the basements have shops and stuff like that. So I mean, it's nice. It's nice in theory when you when it's winter. Unfortunately, in some cases the path goes through shops or other buildings, and I mean, if it's after hours, you can't get through. But it was at least nice when I was like getting off the Greyhound bus and I had to make a transfer to the train station, which is a few blocks away. So I could take the path at least for a little bit if I did want to try and get the subway to get to the outbound like train station. But it's like, when everything's open during the day, you could go like the full way through the stores and everything else and get to the train station. But yeah, when it was closed, it's like, well, alright. It's just me and my suitcase versus these stairs, because the, did they turn off the elevator? I can't remember if they did. But even then, it was like an elevator just meant for wheelchairs, so... aren't many bugs out here. Well, you're outside of the starter zone, kiddo. What's it? After you leave Viridian Forest? I think the only bug Pokemon you can find are Venonat, Pinsir, and Scyther. And those guys aren't until the Safari Zone. Tego! Hello, Tego. Weedle, Weedle, Weedle. This is reminding me of Wurmple a bit. For some reason, just... It was interesting how they decided in Gen 3. It's like, alright, here is one worm bug. It can evolve one of two ways, rest in peace. It's randomized. There's no way you can influence it. If you don't like it, just go catch a Silcoon or Cascoon, but they won't know Tackle, because they did evolve from a Wurmple. That was a thing, that was like a plot point in the Pokemon anime. Jessie wanted a Beautifly, which is the equivalent of Butterfree, essentially. And instead, she ended up with Duskmoth. Which I understand. I mean, wanting a butterfly and getting a moth aside, Duskmoth's design was kind of a downgrade, in my opinion. Oh yeah, and then Gen 2 introduced double battles. Quit listening in on us. No. Your happiness is my unhappiness. Your unhappiness is my unhappiness. Squirtle! Oh, now it's personal. How dare you have a Squirtle, but not me? Nice. Ooh, very nice. Again. Level 20 Squirtle, though. My goodness. Ow. Not the worst, but rip. Low health. Like, just in general, Butterfree has low health. remember if we can get anything good on this route. I know you can get drowsy on the route that's like to the west of Vermilion City. I don't know about this one. Personal. Ma'am, you're going to have to hand over that Pikachu. Oh, so this was before, the sprites had the gender dysmorphia, where, like, they were different based on gender. The Pikachu doesn't have the heart chunked out of its tail. Oh, come on. Are you just gonna evade me into oblivion? Apparently so. There we go. There we go. Ugh, I hate losing. Me too! Welcome to the club. Welcome to society. Alright. Pidgey's gonna evolve into Pidgeotto. And then Spearow becomes Spearow in 5 more levels, and then we can get Spearow out of the party. Because then we have Spearow for the Pokedex. There really isn't a need to have 2 basic flying normal Pokemon in a party after this point in the game, especially with Lieutenant Surge. Like, that's just... we're just handing him fodder at that point. We've got a bit before we can get in the gym, though. We have to go through all of the SSA to get cut. Uh-oh. Darn it! Not supersonic. Nice. Everybody's confused. Everybody was kung fu fighting. It was a little bit frightening. We couldn't get down the timing. That's not how the lyrics goes, but I'm just adapting at this point. Everybody was kung fu fighting. We're songs from like the 80s that sound like they should be parody songs, but they were not. That one and Eye of the Tiger. Meow, that's right. Ow. Azukashi, we lost our meow. Well, I mean, our health was low. Jambola, hello. I actually really like Meow. They're not like a great Pokemon in the game, but I mean, the Meowth in the anime is so charming, for better or worse. I learned to speak human for this girl, and then she called me a freak, and that was my start of the life of crime. Relatable crash out. You gotta rewatch that episode. It was a good episode. Kind of bittersweet, but yeah, between watching someone play old Zelda and now this, it takes me back to the low health beeping days, god. They still had that as late as like Kingdom Hearts. In Kingdom Hearts, it feels particularly like annoying. Just doing this way, so I only have to fight one of them before I get to the gym, or rather the Pokemon Center, then I can come back and fight the other one. Little trick I figured out as a kiddo. Razor Leaf! Sure. Renegade! Good old Eradicate. Look at those big old teeth. I've said this in other Pokemon streams, but my very first shiny Pokemon was Eradicate. Didn't even know shiny Pokemon existed then. I was very confused. feel like, yeah, most people's very first shiny Pokemon that they weren't hunting for ends up being something completely, I'll say like random, probably something you wouldn't be hunting a shiny for. Alright! We can get an old rod and get a Magikarp. Stupid people and their shinies, right? I'm the fishing girl. I simply love fishing. I can't bear to go without. Tell me, do you like to fish? Heck yeah! Have you never seen me play Infinity Nikki? Grand, I like your style. I think we can be friends. Take this and fish, young friend. But then you gave me the shittiest rod on planet Earth. That catches nothing but Magikarp, and I think rarely you'd get like a Poliwag. You've never seen one except cheating in Red Gyarados? Really? Especially in the older games, the encounter rates were quite something. Now they've like implemented a method into the game specifically for the shinies, but there we go. 1 out of 8,000, yoy! Not even a nibble. Not even the Magikarp want it. Yo, there we go. A level 5 Magikarp. My Switch says I have 20 hours in Leaf Green. I haven't left Oakslap from shiny resetting for Bulbasaur. Oh no. Oh, buddy. I hope you're freed soon. Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me. Look, Magikarp, I understand. But if I so much as blow at you, you are going to explode. So just get in the Pokemon. You really want your freedom, huh? Do you not want to be raised and become a Gyarados? No? You just want to flop around forever? I can't believe the negative pep talk is what did it. I'm not a huge shiny hunter, but the first Pokemon I ever shiny hunted was Charmander. Ah, makes sense. Would you want to be caught and turned into a dragon creature? Is that a trick question? I mean, right? I do wanna... We're not done leveling up Spearow technically. But we definitely need a water Pokemon more than we need Spearow just to complete the Pokedex. So I'm sorry, friend. We'll come back for you someday. Totally. God, this just reminds me because... What was it? shiny reset for Bulbasaur, but then they hit the soft reset out of habit. You gotta actually look clearly, man. I get it, cause yeah, when you've been at it for a while, your brain kind of starts turning off, but yeah, oof. I would have just given up at that point. Crash out, never going back. Forget it, forget it, forget it. I might not have opened the game again, right? Like that, kudos to the person if they continued, because that takes so much willpower. Oh my god, though, speaking of clips, I saw someone put together a compilation of all of the people, all the streamers who didn't know about the poison effect. Like, someone compiled as many clips of people reacting to that as they could. The look of sheer terror and confusion. It just goes to show you. Interesting gimmicks make a great impression, for better or worse. I was just sitting here reading the warning post like, this is kind of silly, right? No. Especially if someone's only like 20 and they just started Pokemon, like, not that long ago. Money! Welcome in! Hello! How you doing? Oh my god, Iggy. Rest in peace, that's right. You know the wind. No shit, Fakey's also weak to flying, whatever. Good thing there's no flying gym in this gen. Gonna take forever? Ah, it's fine. There aren't many options for water Pokemon this early in the game, unless you pick Squirtle. So, you know, you live with what you get. And I mean, in theory, if you throw the fish in front of everything, it's not that bad. See? Almost level 6 already. We do have... Does Sandshrew learn Dig naturally? I can't remember. Because we do have the TM, but I mean... We don't get replaceable TMs in this generation. Or I guess reusable. Scrolling down, 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 down. It does not learn dig naturally. In fact, it does not learn a ground move until level 45 with Sand Tube. You gotta be kidding. Oh, man. Remember those days? Remember those days a Pokemon could be a certain element and just learn nothing? Rip. Yep. Sandslash also does not learn anything but Sand Dune. Alright. We're giving our boy the dig. Because, I mean, we have Diglett's Cave. If we're gonna bring some options to the Lieutenant Surge fight, we need at least one more ground type. Back in the day, when I was like a little kid, sorry. We'll continue that in a second. I need to clear my throat. It was very, like, phlegmy today. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But yes, when I was a little kid, I didn't want anyone on my team that weren't, like, a Pokemon I liked. So I had no idea what I was gonna do for Lieutenant Surge because rock and ground Pokemon, except for Sandshrew. Except for Sandshrew, at that age were ugly to me. Eventually I warmed up to Diglett too, but yeah. Anyway, I managed to beat the gym using Venusaur. Because it's one of those things where grass resists electric, but grass is not advantageous against electric. So it's like, it can't be done, but yeah. Like, why was I like this? Why did I just make this so much more difficult for myself than it needed to be? I'm still like that, take what you like and worry later. Fair enough. I at least try and keep the team somewhat balanced. That's just my preference now. But I never boxed my starter. I know some people that, like, they're like, almost immediately will box their starter to, like, make a whole meta team to play through the story. I'm like, why? It's like, that's supposed to be your bestie. Why would you treat your bestie like that? It makes me happy that you also have to order your team by level, yes. I also mentioned it before that it drives me bananas when my team isn't all the same level. So the whole lucky egg thing in the newer gens drives me crazy. Because it's like, unless you box certain Pokemon, you can never even it out. Boxing your starter is like selling a Christmas present with that person still in the house. Like, you know, Aunt Betty came to visit for Christmas and you guys went to the store on like Boxing Day or something and like you're selling off the stuff she brought. Got everything, but we'll do a little loop-de-loop in the grass, see if anything good pops up. Bellsprout! We already got grass covered. Oh, Kid Escape, of course. What was I thinking? Magikarp can't be in the front if we're just gonna run in the grass? Oh dear. That was a little stupid of me. Damn, Bellsprout, are you trying to like outperform Jigglypuff for most trainers put to sleep? There we go. Level 7! Making steady progress. Right, I wanted to see what route this is. Town map. 6. 666. Okay, but what Pokemon? Come on. Generation 2, 3. So, Pidgey, Meowth, Oddish, Sprout, depending on the version. And then everything else is through fishing or surfing. So yeah, there's nothing here for us. Rest in peace. Moving on. you stomping around on the building. The gym you need cut for, because bro doesn't want anyone interrupting whatever the heck he's doing. Oh, that's right! Detour through Rock Tunnel to Lavender Town. Ah, Rock Tunnel. I almost want to go through Rock Tunnel blind in the spirit of nostalgia. Because nowadays, in Gen 3, it's not total darkness. There's like a little circle of light around you, so you can sort of see where you're going. It's just like walking around without your glasses on. It's fine. Yippee! That's not right? What's not right? What do you mean? What do you mean? I did my best, I have no regrets. Are you from the Nugget Bridge? That's what they all say. Did you get lost? One awakening. I just became a trainer, but I think I can win. Oh, sweet baby child. You're in for a bad time. You know what? That was a misclick. Still fine. Woke up. Damn it. You see, when I use sleep powder, they wake up right away. When someone uses sleep powder on me, we're out for 5 turns. Level 18, Supersonic. Sure. Supersonic technically better than sleep powder anyway. Not that you need to use status moves that much when you're playing like just vanilla story Pokemon mode, but Oh, it's not that bad, but... Pidgey should evolve after this fight, too. Very nice. About to enter the emo teenager phase with that mohawk. There we go. Beautiful. Yay! Haven't they grown enough? It's all a work in progress, kiddo. Thank you for the hydrate. Don't worry, I've been drinking like a hot chocolate. Is Bulba my fave? No, my favorite is Eevee. But out of the 3 starters, I do like Bulbasaur the best. Raise my Pokemon carefully. Good luck, kiddo. Possibly go wrong. Rand. Mankey should be okay. Ha! Switched into her fighting type move. How perfect. Anyway, here's how you actually kick. Magikarp's already leveled, almost level 10. Who were the doubters? This boy is Magikarp's a girl, like, I guess it doesn't really matter. This girl will be on her way to Gyarados already halfway there. If I'm remembering correctly, it's level 20 they evolve. Level 20! Yep. Ow. Ow. I have potion on me. We just got it. Okay, whatever. Alright, all according to Keikaku. Beautiful. me, it's almost nostalgic at this point. Alright, save. It's been a little bit. It's a gamble, man. Watch out for live wires. Why are you have live wires on the ground with no warning? What the hell, Bernie? Yes, Magnemite. Ow. Whoa! Now there was a surprise. Done. That feels like overkill at this point in the game. Is that another illegal Pokemon? Is that an illegal Magneton? Magnemite starting at level 30? Oh, that is highly, highly, highly illegal. That is a highly illegal Magneton. That is 12 levels too early. What the fuck? Someone call the policia. We need to report this guy to Officer Jenny. There's some illegal breeding going on here. They've accelerated evolution. Not the confusion. Ow! Yeah. Sonic Boom? Pretty handy. Not to be confused with the TV show Sonic Boom. And the hot mess of the video game. Yikes! Oof. We may be in trouble. That's a crit. Ooh, we might lose this. This might be our first wipeout. God damn it! Ah! All you had to do was... Yeah, we sure are cooked. This crazy, illegal magneton. Sand attack always wins. We can only hope. Man. We forgot to restock on potions. I walked into the Poke Mart and then I walked right back out. Like, I do have one revive, but without a way to also heal. Oh, she took the hit. That's more than I was expecting. Ah, here we go, the first whiteout. Now. Does this damn thing know levitate? Because then, you know, Jake's not gonna do anything. Otherwise, we're fine. Hang on. Where's the TM case? So I think we also got rock too? Yes, we did. I like that you just slap a CD to their head. I wish that's how I could learn math that way. Alright, then we'll walk right back up to that guy and demand a rematch. I demand satisfaction! Also, we'll go with 5 for now. Actually, this way will be faster. Oh, no way, there's a trainer there. Never mind. Hey. Watch out for live wires. I'm the only live wire you gotta worry about, buddy. I'm here to put your illegal magneton out of business. Now, this is how we find out if these guys got levitate or not. sweet revenge for my $5. I could have bought Starbucks with that. Come on, you can do it. Damn it. That's the worst thing about Jake being a two-part move is you have to do the confusion check. Both 2 times. Come on, buddy. No! Okay, we're good. There's still hope. Excellent. Now it's just you, me, and an illegal magneton. Down. Get out of here! Huh. That'll teach you to use illegal Pokemon! Well, better get back to work, uh-huh. I'm reporting you to the authorities, just so you know. Shame on you. Oh my god, Drowsy, no way. Let's try Pidgeotto, see it. I was like, not the hypnosis. I was trying to think of what I could send out to fight this guy that wouldn't be something that would take it out immediately, and also we wouldn't be weak to, but at least they don't know Dream Eater at level 13. At least we're safe from that. Took me way too long when I was younger to realize that, like, Hypnosis and Dream Eater were to be used as a Wamble Bamble combo. And oh, the damage you do. But of course, you know, you have to actually get them to sleep. Yeah, there we go. If we have need of a psychic Pokemon, we're set. No, we're good. need to wander into the cave just yet. Alright. Beautiful revenge. Now who else do we got along here? We got this guy. I have never won before. Is this a gambler? It sure is a gambler. Gamer. I guess they had to censor him. Cause that sure is not the original. I guess gambling is a game. Sorta. But yeah, I'm like, you know, that is sure not a Game Boy. That is the cup for like, oh, what is it? Odds and evens? You see them play it in anime quite a bit. Like, someone calls odd or evens, and the dice goes in the cup. They do like a shakety shake kind of thing. They slam the cup down, and they reveal and like, you know, if the total of the dice is even or odds. That's exactly what that cup is. But I am sure they were gamblers in the original Red and Blue. This is a new thing. Yep, gambler. Previously a PI? But they're a private detective now? What? What happened? They went and got a job? In Japanese, they're still gamblers, but they just changed them to PIs for some reason in English. In generations 1, 3, and 7, they are depicted as old men with dice in a cup. They're called dealer in French. Okay, see, that at least... That kind of also sounds like they might be selling drugs to children, but at least dealer keeps the luck and gambling theme going. My God. Yep, sure. Joueur de croupier in French, according to the wiki anyway. Damn, Growlithe got an insane hit off. And all... Oh my God. This trainer class was originally known as Gambler in Generation 1. This was changed to Gamer in Fire Red and Leaf Green, yada yada yada, to avoid gambling references. And yet they left in an entire casino! Make it make sense. Yeah, this is the game corner. You ain't fooling anybody. Even when I was a child, I knew that was a casino. No arcade has you flipping frickin' cards like Voltorb. As a result, some jokes were lost, such as in Fire Red and Leaf Green, where Gamer Reach describes himself as a rambling gaming dude instead of a rambling gambling dude. In the English release of Diamond Pearl Platinum, the trainer class is instead named PI for Private Investigator, likely because of the trench coat's stereotypical association with detectives. You don't know who's to blame, so I can't even complain. Parents. Parent-Teacher Association. Yeah, for better or worse, gambling has such a cultural touchstone in Japan overall, like frickin' pachinko parlors, man. Like, not actual casinos, but pachinko parlors and stuff like that. Like, stuff that gets around the gambling law. But it's like, you're not fooling anyone. We know what this is. The weirdest thing about Pokemon's evolution is how in, like, Scarlet and Violet, you can barely go inside any buildings, like... I know it's, like, extra stuff to have to code and whatever, but it just feels really weird. Like, it's fine! Not even the Pokemon Center is indoors anymore. Just frickin' making Nurse Joy stand outside, exposed to the wind and rain. And the sandstorms, yeah! I'd say I hope she gets paid well. But I know how nurses are paid overall in the world. They are not paid enough. Alright. Whoop! I'm laying down some cables. Well, it's too late. I seem to have walked right into your trap. Remember in the OG Red and Blue there were cables on this route? Doesn't make a lot of sense here. Yeah, we can't see any we cannot see the proverbial cables y'all talking about. like, I get updating things, because you gotta do what you gotta do. But it feels a little weird. Not the paralyze. Not the paralyze! Gotta get back. Run for it! Time to heal. When you're on these new paths and you're like, alright, time to go back to the Pokemon Center. Whoops, I just wandered into somebody's eye view. Eye view? That's line of sight, Dee Dee. Alright. Okay, we're still good on time for a little bit anyway. I keep getting sucked in too deep into this game. And since, you know, it's the middle of the week, I don't want to basically miss my window of opportunity to get enough sleep to make it through the workday. Competition! I can't get enough. Well, you are a gamer, I guess. Yes, Pidgeot. I had a dream last night where Roach evolved into Kiwimon. Like the Digimon Kiwimon? Oh my, oh no. No, now that would be interesting, not gonna lie. Yep. I mean, Wind and Waves is like supposed to be like Malaysia, Polynesia, that kind of stuff, so a Kiwi isn't completely out of the question. It makes sense, I don't want that! Will it make you feel better if you know that in Digimon, it's Floramon that evolves into Kiwimon? We go from a walking flower, like Palmon, to turning into a flightless bird instead of turning into another flower. least in Digimon, you usually have multiple Evo routes. True. Just in the anime. Because when I saw that happen in the anime... Now that I think about it, it was the French Digidestin in Season 2 that had Kiwimon. So no, I said Catherine. In English, anyway. In English, she was called Catherine. You wouldn't want to have it as a partner? Understandable. Unfortunately, Digidestin can't be choosers. Who would you want as a partner then? I was always like Tailmon / Gatomon because, you know, cats. Though I did love Patamon as well. For me, I always, like, based my face on, what were the stages called? It's been so long. The intermediary, the one before champion. It probably wouldn't suit me. Oh. I don't know if Ken really suited having a worm, but you know. Oh, come on. Shake it off! Shake it off! There we go. I had a chance, I guess. X-Defend! Have I played Pokemon Survive? Some characters really did like their partner. I haven't played it yet. I think I have at least a couple of the games in my Steam library. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Spread the word to save energy. I regret to inform you, the conservation efforts have gone quite poorly. Oh, come on. Fortunately, the butterfly can still run for its life. By men Agumon, I mean, yeah, the talking dinosaurs, kinda. There's a reason why something should never be done as live action. It is just a little too unnerving to see a lizard that big, you know? Like, even it's not as bad sometimes I find with like someone attempting to do live action Pokemon, but sometimes it's like, oh my lord. What happened to you? Agumon, big frickin' yellow lizard on 2 legs. Charmander's at least like a normal salamander color. Because I mean, in nature, brightly colored amphibians and stuff usually mean they're poisonous. So like, natural instinct says, you see a brightly colored whatever, get the frick away from it. If you only use humanized Digimon, I guess, or like the more, for lack of a better word, cuddly ones. Like, sure, a life-sized like a Beomon that looked like a bird would kind of be terrified because, you know, that is like a 2-foot-tall bird, but not that bad. A big old Gatomon, sure. Patamon would be fine, as long as it was furry. Gomamon, fine. Tentomon, probably gonna trigger someone's phobia, let's be real. Unfortunately. Gomamon would just be like a baby seal. Level 23, yippee! A huge phobia of anything worm-like. If I met a real-life wormmon, I'd die on the spot. That is a big frickin' grub, too. I don't blame you. Even if you weren't afraid of, like, a bug, scenes what that big would be like, what the fuck? Hi, Zexu! Well, I mean, I'm gonna be setting up, going live pings in the server, so you just need to get that roll, and then at least Discord should let you know. Hey, Money Tree, let's go! Have a roll for that? Not yet. I'm implementing them. I haven't finished setting them all up yet. I just posted the announcement yesterday saying I am going to be doing that. It was one of those things where it was like, I wanted to do it, the announcement at the same time as having them done. But then I ran out of time on my break day to get it all done. And I'm like, I should just tell people it's coming before I, like, do it, and then forget to announce it or something. Ooh, you missed. But yes, there will be a paint roll for Go Live, there will be one for Schedule, and there will be one for the watch-alongs. Everyone's asleep, paralyzed. Boink. How the Snorlax doesn't crush the dog, we will never find out. Oh, so that Pokeball was infuriating as a child, trying to figure out how to get it. You can't get it until you're basically coming from Fuchsia City. If I remember correctly. Or... nope, you can't. Well, well, well. There definitely were items that you could see on routes and then, like, behind fences that you couldn't get for quite a while for. Either you did have the item, or you had to come from a different direction. Gamer Dirk. Not to be confused with the gambler. But yes, hello Zexo, I hope you're doing well. Just leveling up my magic card. It's almost at level 15. We've almost got a Gyarados. Gamers are fun. Gamblers are scary. Don't mix them up. Even though now gamers and gamblers are synonymous with each other because of gacha. Gamers might be the biggest gamblers around since 2020. I think he may actually be correct, yeah. Like, you could, I guess, make the argument that it's not quite to that level, because in theory, with at least most of the gacha games, there has to be a pity. So at some point, you put in enough money, and you get what you want. But there are a lot of gacha games still where that's not the case, and then wasn't for a long time. Not until like legislation stepped in and went, "Whoa, you can't do that." Not unless you want to be regulated by our gambling association. Like Monkey Gate in Grand Blue Fantasy is famous for that. For those who don't know, Monkey Gate was when the Year of the Monkey character got released in Grand Blue Fantasy. Someone had a crash out because they spent thousands, that's right, thousands of dollars on pulls and did not get the character. So they finally started digging into the into the code and finding out how the rate-ups were actually calculated and stuff like that. And it was basically so atrocious that the Japanese government had to get involved. Heard of that one from me? I think probably. I bring it up now and again. Especially when people are like, everyone say thank you to Genshin for inventing pity. I'm like, hell no. Sit down. That was Grand Blue Fantasy who did that. Like, at least 3 years before Genshin even existed. Like, Genshin did sort of normalize that, oh, within 80 pulls, you will get a 5-star. Because in Grand Blue, you have to do 300 pulls before you can. But on the flip side, yes, it's 300 in Grand Blue, but at that point, you can pick what you want, basically. Because, for example, the pity in Grand Blue isn't limited to just the newest rate-up character. There's usually like a list of 6 to 7 characters that if you put 300 pulls into the banner, you can pick from. So, like, if there were more rare characters that like weren't on banner, but I hadn't gotten them. Like, every time, like, a new banner comes, I check the list. And it's like, oh, shit! I don't care about, like, the rate-up character, but I don't have this one yet. And I, like, and I wanted their weapon for, like, my grid or whatever else. I just saw that and said, okay, let's implement a guarantee before someone sues us. The craziest one to hold out on a pity for the longest time was Fate Grand Order, honestly. People were literally spending the equivalent of, like, houses or, like, mortgaging their homes. And people kept asking for, pity systems. And basically, the FGO people were like, you guys are just spoiled. No. Until, like, you know, finally it was just enough negative bad press that they were like, fine here. But it's the worst pity there ever is. Like, it's extremely difficult to hit it. And it doesn't carry over between banners. Grand Blue doesn't either, but... I argue, at least in Fate Grand Order, it's not quite as necessary to get your waifus, because every single time you do a quest, the game forces you to borrow a servant from someone, whether or not they're on your friends list or they're just a random stranger. So for like a long time, I didn't have Mordred, who's like my favorite, because I kept losing, because I kept not getting her on the banner. So I would just borrow people's Mordred for every single quest until I got my own. It removes the FOMO a little bit. I mean, sometimes it works out eventually. It took like 6 years. I finally got a character that I wanted for ages. Because they put Murasaki Shikubu in the game, but she wears Gothic Lolita. I wish all gachas did that. I would try to always play the characters involved if possible. Yeah, I do appreciate that with FGO. Arknights, it's... Excuse me. I think we got everyone. You're back, yippee! There we go. Win, lose, or draw. Yeah, totally a gambler, not a gamer. I mean, a gamer, not a gambler. But yeah, at least, and another thing with Fate letting you borrow other people's characters if you don't have them. Since they force you to, there's no like consequence. Like in Arknights, they're like, oh yeah, you can borrow someone's character if you want. But that automatically disqualifies you from getting a 3-star rating on the level. And if you don't get a 3-star rating on the level, you don't actually get Originium, which is like the gacha currency. Like, yeah. You want to know how many people borrow my characters? None. Because literally there's no incentive to unless you're just desperate to clear a stage. Forces you to borrow characters for some story fights. Oh god. Yeah. Oh man. It was vaguely recent, so I won't go into too much detail. But there is a story version of a boss fight that has additional mechanics that weren't in the version that you farmed. So not only were you using forced to use story characters, there were additional mechanics you were not prepared for. Like, oh yeah, the screen goes black. The only way you can tell where the enemy is like there's like a firefly trail. It's like, you better dodge. It's like, okay. Except the firefly trail is caused not by the boss's eyes, but the giant frickin' claws on its arm, so it's got extra reach. You know, just in case you thought the timing was gonna be easy. Oh god, oh yeah. I was complaining about it in the Discord, and some people were like, that actually sounds like an interesting fight. I'm like, it is! If it wasn't story characters, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man! It's just you, it's just MC and, like, a healer. And I'm like, God damn it! Like, It's like, why couldn't this have at least been, Arrow Rover? Because then you would have had 2 healers on the team. So if you keep messing up the frickin' dodge from the giant claw range, you wouldn't have to suffer like this. Fortunately, overall, it wasn't a terribly difficult fight, but yeah, the mechanics and not expecting it, it's just like, oh god, why? Using Destruction MC, oh, yeah. Even at the beginning of the game, Destruction MC was not super great. They periodically in story bring up the other weapons. Like sometimes you have an option to talk about using the lance. But I mean, at least in The funniest one with that is there was like a dialogue option to discuss every single one of the different forms, and there was the one that it was like, oh, it's like, you better watch out once I put on my hat. Because Harmony MC it's just the hat. I'm like, that's perfect. I'm picking that option. The person's like, what the hell are you talking about? It's like, oh, just you wait. When you put it like that, it makes sense the MC threatens people with the bat instead. The bat they could just pull out of pocket space, yeah. The only better one would be the Lance, but yeah, at this point it's such a joke in the game meta, like the galactic baseballer and all that stuff. So it's just part of the identity. Like how now MC is always depicted as a raccoon because we made too many digging through the trash jokes as a fandom. Of course I want to play the bad restory chapters, yeah. Maybe at some point they'll get like a rebalance for it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised since it seems to be heavily implied, well, MC's natural path isn't any of the ones they've gotten so far. But considering, you know, when Finon shows up, they might. Because, I mean, Finon is basically supposed to be MC's parallel. That's why, literally at the beginning, he steals their baseball bats. Which means, you know, if that's true, MC's gonna have... At the very least, they're gonna get a sword at some point. Get a big old great sword that they just swing like a baseball bat, like Junpei from Persona. At least that's my theory. He's supposed to be? Yeah! Aw. Yeah, he's essentially their foil. Like, he's also on the hero's path, just like they are. But he's, what happens when, like, I guess things go poorly for the hero, so to speak. Well, I guess cover your ears if you haven't played it for us yet and you don't want to hear this. All right, guys, cover your ears. I'll give you to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so Finon was called the Deliverer for like the whole like thing of the story because they were like, oh yeah, he's gonna be the god, he's gonna save everything. No, the prophecy was actually talking about MC. MC was the deliverer this whole time. So all of, like, Finon's abilities were technically supposed to be MC's, if you read it that way. Yeah, because, like, it's easy to kind of make jokes about, mem and stuff. But, yeah, basically MC it becomes a god in that world. Once they get the power of Deliverer and stuff like that. And I mean, if you look in, the map, like there's a section in Star Rail where you can look up the different chapters and you'll see, like, you know, Pinaconi, part 16 out of 16 completed. Empress is still all question marks, which means that story is not done yet. They're still cooking something. Alright. Do I want to do Diglett's Cave? Not really. Not yet. The whole point of Diglett's Cave is just to be able to get Flash. And, I guess, get a Diglett if you don't have anything for the gym. So, did we heal while we were yapping? Yes, we did heal while I was yapping. I have to check. Sometimes when I start yapping away while playing games, I just walk in circles. Oh, thank you for the follow! Much appreciated. Where's the track? There's no track! The ye old rumors, Mew is under the truck. You're just not doing it right. Gotta swim like crazy. Welcome to the SSN. Guaranteed not to sink, unlike the anime. We all heard that one? Oh, absolutely. Iduna, my bestie, and I were actually just talking about that stuff the other day because, you know, new gacha game new chapter in a gacha game comes out. If it's popular, there's a good chance it all gets spoiled within, like, 6 hours. We were like, bring back the stuff that was, like, Mew under the truck. Bring back, like, these super, like, bring back the super crazy rumors. Because those were at least kind of fun, instead of just, like, having, like, things get spoiled because people are cloud hunting. He's under there. My uncle works at Nintendo and he told me. Oh my god. Okay, this reminded me. Okay, I swear this sounds made up. But here's the funny thing. I was at a summer camp. And there's two boys were like shooting the shit, as they say. Talking about like, oh, you know, because Gold and Silver had been vaguely announced. Nothing was actually out yet and stuff like that. So like the rumor mills were going, right? And this like one boy was like dedicated to convincing me. And like he's just going on and on and on and on and stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like, Alex! Because there was a boy named Alex here. I'm like, Alex! You're actually from Japan, right? Like, you're just visiting family for the summer and you came along with your cousins to this camp. Gold and Silver's already out in Japan, isn't it? Is this true? And you could see all the blood drain out of this kid's face. Like, that was, like, a very rare, powerful moment where, like, it's like, yeah, I can fact-check you, IRL. Because, yeah, it was, like, what was it? Alex was fluent in English because, like, one of his parents was from, like, the US or something like that. Ergo, why he had cousins. No, was from Canada. And, like, ergo, why he had cousins at this summer camp. And since, like, you know, his whole family was visiting for the summer, he decided to, like, come along with them. So, like, you know, he's just not just sitting at home doing nothing. Even Dee Dee forgets she's not American sometimes. Sometimes it's all a blur. I mean, you hear, like, you know, Asian American and all that stuff even here in Canada as like a default term, you very rarely hear like, you know, people say Asian Canadian or Black Canadian. Just saying like, you know, like whatever American is just the de facto because, you know, North America. But saying that implicitly implies the United States. Excuse me, do you have a ticket? Oh, sorry, right, you were checking our tickets. Sorry, I was on the phone. Welcome to the SSN. This isn't gonna sink, right? Man, it's been so long since I've seen those episodes. I don't even remember how the SSN sank in the anime. Rumors the truck. Board the ship after two schoolgirls who were actually Jesse and James in disguise. Oh yeah! James just cross-dressed all the frickin' time in season 1. No wonder people headcanon James is like some kind of queer. Gay James and lesbian Jesse headcanon, that makes sense. Out on the open ocean, Team Rocket began taking the Pokemon. Ash led a counterattack, leading to a large battle, and many of their members being blasted off through the side of the ship. So it's Ash's fault. Afterwards, the Satan ended up in rough water, and the passengers and crew had to be evacuated, even without the storm. Even without the storm, they would have had to be evacuated. You just blew a hole in the ship. It's a miracle. You know, literally, the fact that, like, no one said anything. Everyone on that ship just frickin', like, swore themselves to secrecy, because if anyone says why the ship sank, they would all be held accountable by the company. Incredible! That's kind of how I figured the ship sank. Something to do with the Team Rocket plot. But damn, what a dumb idea. Also, Ash nearly drowned because he wanted to trade his Butterfree back for his... wanted to trade back for his Butterfree, because he traded his Butterfree for Eradicate. And then, you know, 20 episodes later, Butterfree just, like, goes off to have bug babies and never be seen from again. Bonjour, I am the waiter on the ship. Yeah, I'm so sure you're French talking like that. Ah, le strong salit type. You look tired. That's right. Oh, I'm sorry for fussing over you. You look like my little sister. Ah! I mean, that's fine. It's just, we literally got on the ship. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you, though. I am but a solitary traveler. My My soul companions and friends are the Pokemon I caught on my journey. Okay, Grandpa. Let's get you off to bed. Yes, it is all well known that we all speak perfect English except for the "ler" article. Yep. Oh my god, though. We're just getting all kinds of deedy childhood stories here. So, I talked before that my Mama and Papa and Melis and I are French-Canadian. English is my first language, but French is Mama and Papa Melis's first language. So, apparently when Mama Melis was pregnant with me, she just kept defaulting to using he, because you know in French it's le bébé, which is masculine. And she didn't want to know what the gender of the baby was going to be, but because she kept using he, the doctor subconsciously corrected her. It's like, oops. I'm like, that is such a bilingual. That's like only a story that could happen if you're bilingual. Stuff like that is just always so funny. He actually ate her? Yeah, it was like... What was it? He said something like, I don't know, the heart rate's like a little too fast to be a boy, and like she made like this startled noise, and he's like, oh, but it still could be a boy? I guess in the womb, girls have a faster base heart rate or something like that, I don't know. French regional dialect stuff is also hilarious. Cause, in school and, like, depending on your family, your grandmother would be grand-mère. But in my family, and in a lot of the French families in, like, the northern part of Ontario where I grew up, your grandma is mémère. M-E-M-E-R-E, with like the appropriate accents. And like grandfather is papa. So I forget how the conversation came up. That's funny? Yeah. It's like the regional like equivalent. That's how I always called my grandma. Hey! See, my family's legit French. Yeah, literally, I forget what conversation I was having with someone down here in southern Ontario. But they were saying their family was French, or like, there was something, but they didn't know what mémère was, and they thought I was saying mad. They're like, yeah, what about your mother? I'm like, no, mémère. They're like, yeah, your mother? I'm like, no, mémère. It's like, how are we speaking the same language and not getting any, like, getting through to each other here? also funny when you get kids from either Northern Ontario that are like pretty much only unilingual French, or they're from Quebec. Because I remember waiting for the Greyhound bus in university to go back home. And there were like these kids just like talking up a storm, being like a shit and complaining about everything. But they were doing it in French, right? So finally I just turned around because they were sitting on the bench that was like just behind me. And like I basically told them, I'm like, you know, like what you're looking for is like over there, right? And like, once again, all the blood drains out of these kids' faces. It's like, yeah, watch what you say in public. Just because you think no one speaks French here doesn't mean that's true. It's like, don't say anything you wouldn't be okay being called out on. But yeah, I call my grandmother Mehmed, my childhood friend, Chantal, was also, like, called her grandparents Mehmed and, Pepad. To be fair, that's on them. Oh, absolutely. It was just hilarious. There's a good chance people would understand you. Probably, yeah. From my experience, the people who speak French who are born and raised in Canada, we tend to speak at a slower cadence because it's the French language, but spoken with the pacing of English, because you're just more used to English kind of thing. Don't have, unless you go to Quebec, there they have, like, you know, the rapid fire da 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 da. But I mean, the Quebecois accent, especially if it's outside of the big cities, that's a crazy accent. That's their equivalent of, like, you know, the hick accent. It's honestly hard for most French people to understand someone from Quebec. And if it makes you feel better, it is also hard for most French Canadians outside that aren't from Quebec to understand the Quebecois. It's like machine gun French. It all just blurs together. And I'm like, damn, if I didn't know French, I wouldn't even know where one word started and the other one ended. So funny. Thinking about all of this, my first swear words were actually French. Because Mama Melis didn't want swearing in the house. Papa Melis, being the smartass he is, was like, oh, just do it in French. Diana doesn't know what these are. I'm like, no, but I can figure out the context. Visit Canada one day. I wouldn't struggle much since you speak English and French. Oh yeah, you'd be fine. Like, obviously in Quebec, you need more French to get around, but in like Montreal and even Quebec City, it's a little more difficult to find people that are completely bilingual. But in Montreal, like, yeah, a lot of times you go up and they'll say, bonjour, and I'm like, bonjour, and they immediately switch to English. They're like, yeah, your accent's not quite right. You don't, and I'm like, no, come on, talk to me in French. I don't get to practice. You don't speak Japanese. Oh no. Do you at least know Nihongo ga wakarimasen? Do you at least know I don't speak Japanese? But I mean, that's fun. And honestly, tourist desu, gaikokujin desu. That would be I'm a foreigner. Ironically, I'm doing a Japanese study stream tomorrow. If you want to piggyback off me. But I mean, that'll be a fun trip. And I mean, if you're in Tokyo, most people there who are like working within the tourism industry will know enough English to get by. And I mean, most of the signage around Tokyo now has, it's written in Japanese and English precisely because of the tourism. Or say I started learning Japanese, but then stuff happened and I just wasn't in the mood for anything. That's understandable. I mean, it's a tough language. I was literally complaining on stream last week, I think, about... Because there's a game that I've been playing that helps you learn Japanese, and they started teaching us how to say, like, big numbers. Like, you know, like, 1 million, like... 1,625,000 kind of thing. And my brain just breaks because they use bases, basically. So it's not just, so you know, 2,000 isn't just like 2,000. It's like 2 and then 1,000. So if you want to write 2,600, you have to write 2, then 1,000, then 6, then 100. So like it starts, like when it gets to like the big 6-digit numbers, my like brain just explodes. I'm like, oh, why? I'm like out here writing everything out by hand. Like that meme of like the girl in the crying while she's like coloring in a picture. I'm like, that's me. I'm like, I chose this for myself. I chose to learn this, and I hate this. Alright, I'm gonna switch to chatting, because it is getting close to 10, so I should start wrapping up. Whee! Yippee! That was lots of fun, though. Hey, French people can't count after 60? Oh my god! I've also had crash outs on streams talking about 80 and 90. Like, what a way to confuse things as for a child. So it's like, okay, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, But what did I come back to? Freed and I were talking about the woes of the French language and also Japanese language. Hi, Art. In Belgium and Switzerland, they count properly, but nah, we stop at 60. Oh my god. Yeah. I remember in school because they were like... Because, you know, in English, you'll say, like, you know, 1990 or something like that. In school, they were like, no. Like, in French, they're like, no, you gotta say the whole number. 1980. Geese. Womp, womp, womp. Fair? Yes. Language woes. Language woes. I mean... I don't hate French, but, like, I was definitely strong-armed into it. Because of my family and stuff like that. It was one of those things where I think if I had had an easier time in elementary school between not having difficulty learning stuff because of being, like, neurodivergent plus the bullying, would have had probably more enjoyment trying to learn French. But French immersion, they're like, yeah, we're just gonna simultaneously teach you half your subjects in French and half your subjects in English for 4 years, and then we're gonna switch it around every 4 years. And like that, and that's how we're gonna make sure y'all are like perfectly bilingual. So for me as a kid that was struggling with math, I'm like, okay, I think I finally got it. And they're like, now we switch the languages. It's like, god damn it. Like, you know, just when, like, you, it's like, okay, I finally got, like, a grasp on, like, you know, long division or something like that. Like, now you have to do long division, but in a different language. They're like, it's the same thing. I'm like, no, it's not! We have to learn new words! History as well was an evil one to switch between the languages. Like, oh, you know the name of this war? Now you need to learn the name of it in French. This will be on the test. I was like, no, thank you. But yeah, since my family was French, they're like, no, you gotta stick in French immersion. I had asked at some point to stop, and Mama Melis, she swears she didn't mean to guilt trip me. But by this point, my père, my grandfather, had passed away. And she's like, oh, your père would be so sad. None of his grandkids are gonna grow up knowing French. It's like, fine. I'm like, no, I'm 9 years old. Why don't you just stab me in the gut and twist the knife? She's like, oh, I didn't mean it that way. I'm like, there's no way you didn't know how that was going to be perceived. Had we met earlier, we could have helped each other. Small world, but not small enough. At least with the joy of the internet, it's possible to reach out to everyone now. That's the benefit. Cause yeah, I didn't start like super seriously studying Japanese until lockdown started. Cause I'm like, well, I need new hobbies. This is a perfect time to buckle down. But I at least had hiragana and katakana and some like basic kanji memorized in high school. Cause I remember this was like definitely before like a lot more series started getting translated into English. It was like, oh yeah, you have Shonen Jump in a Dream, basically. Need to find the motivation. You really want to learn? The motivation is important for me. I've talked about it before. For me, the first motivation was I kept being sad about series that I wanted to be, like, wanted to read, not being available in English. Or, like, you know, either officially or via, like, you know, the pirate scanlations. And I mean, some of them were in French, but you would have had to import the manga from either France or, if you were lucky, a store in Quebec had it. But this was like early days of e-commerce, so not easy. And a friend was like, well, I mean, the raw scans in Japanese are on the internet. Like, the scanlators are getting them from somewhere. You could just technically learn enough Japanese and to, like, be able to sit there with a dictionary and, like, just read it yourself. I'm like, you know what? You're right! And, like, that's how I started learning hiragana and katakana and some, like, basic kanji. The second stage of motivation was getting fed up by all of, like, the fake rumor posts that would come up about various games or, like, anime adaptations, yada yada yada. Don't laugh, but one of the things that helped me was then I could watch Watame streams. No, that totally makes sense, honestly. And I mean, that ties a little bit into, like, some of the continued motivations I've had. Because I wanted to be able to, like, suss out different posts, because I was like, ugh, I'm so tired of being scammed. And eventually, at some point during COVID, I got to the point that like, one day I realized I was scrolling on Twitter and I could understand people's posts. And there was one artist I was following, and, like, she was talking about, like, it was like, oh, sorry, I haven't been drawing art very much. Like, here's what's going on in my life. And I had one of those, like, moments where I was like, wow, we're literally all the same people. Like, when the new episode of, like, Kimitsu no Yaiba would come out, my timeline would be flooded by both Japanese and English people screaming about the same thing. And it just was, like, so fun and wholesome. And I'm like, yes, I want to learn more so I can, like, explore this other part of the world, so to speak. So wanting to understand Watame totally makes sense. Ooh, I'm trying to think, because Watame, her Japanese, like, the way she speaks, is it too bad? Korone and Okayu, rest in frickin' peace. I love them, but, like, my brain just explodes just from, like, how they pronounce things. There's some app or something Okayu was using recently that, like, because everything gets translated into, like, you know, standardized Japanese, but they do have their regional dialects. So she started speaking in her dialect, and, like, the Japanese program could not even identify this as Japanese. And then who is it in Regloss? Is it Hajime? Even Japanese people can't understand Hajime 95% of the time. So all in good time. It's all a worthwhile goal. Every little bit helps. And I mean, sometimes it's just nice to, like, be able to, like, sometimes if I'm playing, like, Honkai Star Rail or whatever, and I can still understand some of the Japanese, I'm like, well, that was an interesting way the English decided to translate that. Because I'll play it with Japanese audio, but, like, English, obviously. And, like, you know, oh, I forget what they call the, like, basically the Fae characters in Planicardia. But in the Japanese dialogue, they call them yokai. So I'm like, so they're demons. Okay. And like, there's like, oh, this furbo, like this, catch that paparazzi furbo. They call it a tanuki in the Japanese audio. And I'm like, yeah, of course it's a tanuki. That's why it can turn into things. I'm like, why are you calling it a furbo? Miko also has motivation. She's funny even without understanding. So many of those gals have great personalities. So many streams, so little time kind of thing. But yeah, it's always nice. A lot of VTubers will also do like study with me Japanese streams, so sometimes that's a fun way to pick up some stuff along the way. And in worst case, sometimes it'll help you find new apps or websites that can help you with like your self-guided studying. Which reminds me, I need to get Anki. They're like flashcards. I keep forgetting. There's like an app and like a website for it, like a mobile version, but you have to upload the flashcards from your desktop. So every time I'm out at the apothecary, I'm like, oh, it's slow, I could study. Ah, crap. My cue cards, my flashcards. Womp, 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 womp. Related to that, though, tomorrow we are doing a Japanese learning stream. Nihongo o benkyou shimasu! Nihongo wo benkyou shimashou! Let's study together! If y'all have time. If not, understandable. Hey, Nun. We may have a rare opportunity here. I'm looking up raids. Don't know if I can be there tomorrow. Will there be a VOD? Yep, there'll be a VOD. As always, don't worry. Do not worry. No, I'm just trying to see something. Okay, they are indeed still going. Last time I tried to raid one of my IRL acquaintances who has become a VTuber. They were just wrapping up. Like, we nearly did the whole, like, raid and pass each other in the night kind of thing. They are drawing, Pokepio Ditto friends. So nice transition after playing Fire Red, Leaf Green. So let us go see Ami! Let us go, let us go, let us go. I rarely get the chance to actually raid people I know, so it's nice. Alright. So yes, tomorrow, JP study stream. There'll be VOD and stuff like that. I will try and walk all of y'all through what I'm doing. Because as they say, teaching people is a great way to, like, test your knowledge and, like, reinforce stuff. So, here is Raid. Here's Discord. Bye. Thank you for the stream. No problem. Thanks for coming by. And here is merch if you are feeling fanciful. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow or whenever. If it's nighttime, have a great rest when you head off to bed. If it's daytime where you are, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Until next time, take care of yourself. Wash your face, brush your teeth, eat a good food, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye.